Welcome to Deception Roll, the show where I openly lie to my friends by reading them 3 r/RPG horror stories, one of which I made up.
Sorry.
And of course, we'll give advice along the way to help those in need. I have the usual contestants today. The board is 2, 1, 2. Tristan 2, Bean 1, Ivy 2.
That's me.
I'm really good at we're good at being manipulated.
I'm also here.
Alright, we ready for the first one?
Yeah.
This is by user TheGadgetFox.
Yeah, me too.
This is more of a confession. The first time I played D&D, I was the problem player.
No! Oh, God.
It was a group of my school pals. Someone asked the group if any of us had interest in D&D, and I was more than willing to play as I had watched some D&D actual plays before. So everyone else agreed, and the person who asked offered to DM a module that he had bought. So after some scheduling, it was time to make my very first character. The classic you know and love. Evil, edgy, tiefling rogue. Meanwhile, my friends had an elf rogue, an elf wizard, a human bard, and a dwarf cleric. I would like to start by saying, I never stole anything from other players like my fellow rogue comrade. But I had made a lot of stupid decisions because it was what my character would do. For example, I set the local inn on fire, I metagamed the first goblin encounter we had, and I would lie to my friends and NPCs about who I was and what I was. However, I wasn't actually having as much fun as I thought I would. I asked the DM privately if I could change characters. I didn't want to double up on rogues in the party, and I decided I wanted to try a monk out instead. The DM agreed. I actually wrote a backstory this time, and my current character was killed in a combat encounter just in time for my new dragonborn monk to come in and rescue the party. For the most part, the monk was fine. I had made huge strides in becoming a better player in only a handful of sessions. She was a cocky and arrogant brawler looking to pick fights with undesirables. She was fun to play, but then we got to a dungeon. This dungeon contained one ghost-like beholder creature who happened to be green. This was a problem, as there was a running joke that my character loves everything that is the color green unconditionally. After jokingly trying to talk to the thing, I read my monk's mind to see if I was being truthful about joining together and betraying the party. I, in a moment of panic, said I was being truthful. This led to an hour-long combat/chase scene where my monk and this beholder thing hunted down and killed the members of my party before killing me to tie up loose ends. Total party kill. And I only have myself to blame. We've played several times after this, but this one still haunts me. By user TheGadgetFox.
Oh my God, that was fucking hilarious.
That's not your problem, King. That's not,
No,
that's not
oh
your
my
fault.
God. That's the kind of chaos shit that D&D is all about.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know it's a pre-written module, right? Because that's
Yeah, they
what
said
you said at the
module.
beginning.
Yeah.
Pre-written. At that point, yeah, you just have fun like that. And everyone gets wiped. That's, like, it was, I'm sure it didn't
At least
feel
this
great
person
in the
seems
moment.
self-aware, I'll say at least. At least they're
Yes,
self-aware
they are
about it.
extremely self-aware, and I very much respect that. That, like, they've demonstrated that they've grown.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's silly.
Yeah.
This was a really, really good one. This kind of like made me smile a lot because I would be that goofy eye player to do that.
I was
Yes.
too, yeah. I was a tiefling rogue, my first game.
Oh no!
My first game, I was a half-elf rogue, and I cut someone's nether regions off to flex. So
I swear, everyone in their first character is either a human because they don't know what the fuck to do, or they're a tiefling.
you're either a rogue or you're not. Your first game, there's no in between. You either don't play or you're a rogue.
My first character was a tiefling bard.
Oh.
So
That just suited you, man.
it did.
That's
It
just
really
you.
did. Oh goodness.
It
Going back to
being that you were first time players and the fact that the DM just kind of like went with it. Good for the DM to bear witness the chaos that is new players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And good job selecting your group.
I assume it was also a new DM, so they
Yeah,
probably also
yeah.
were just
Right.
figuring out as they go.
But like also good job getting a good group that's like, oh God, our own teammates evil. Well, time to continue playing.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That's a great group. If now of course if you were completely horrible about it and they didn't want to play and you forced them to play, then it's a different story. But I don't see a problem with anything that's happened here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you played a game, you figured it out.
I like I
It's a
said,
bit-
it's more of a confession.
Yeah, it's like it was
Move
rough
on.
around the edges, but you figured it out. You'll figure it out more.
double kudos to the DM for allowing that player, the trouble player, quote unquote, to come back.
Yeah.
as well. And I'm very, very proud of both like the very new DM and the still relatively new player for being able to be so self-reflecting and forgiving.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a wholesome story.
Not even a horror story
liked
at that
it.
point.
No,
you know?
it's not bad. I don't think it's
No.
that bad, truthfully.
I got very concerned, honestly, in the beginning. They kind of had me there in the first half, not gonna lie.
You're a problem player if you make other people uncomfortable or hate you in the real world.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
when you're a problem.
But it seemed
True.
like everyone in this D&D group, even though they did get TPK'd,
Yeah.
Yeah.
still was willing to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all you could really ask
Yeah.
for.
Which is, I think, probably just because they're all new players, so it's like, live and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
It's like next time it's one of
Get
you
it-
guys
get
is
it out
to
of your
be
system.
persuaded by the beholder.
Also, great job saying absolutely yes. I want to join your evil doings. Great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a moment of panic. Yeah, sure, fuck it, I'm a bad guy now.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna change the whole thing.
Me.
I also do really like the character. I don't know why. It's like that monk is itching to fight anyone that's like underhanded and evil. That's amazing.
But also is evil. And
Also is evil.
suddenly.
No, apparently she was just so into the color green that beholder was
Swooning.
irresistible.
That-
Swooning.
That's
real.
such a good bit.
Real.
That's such a good
I'm
bit, and the
sorry,
fact that they
guys.
committed to that hard,
I'm sorry,
like
guys, but he's green.
I just can't bring
Pretty
myself.
sure the beast you're fighting was a specter, by the way.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Or spectator, excuse me.
That sounds right.
Spectator, not a specter.
Wow, nerd.
It's a green.
You
four-eye-
read the 2024 manual.
It's a
didn't
green.
You?
It's a green.
It's a
beast
green
with
ghost
5
vulgar.
eyes. One big middle one. It's not as strong as a beholder.
No.
It's like a baby
well,
beholder.
way to make them feel even worse about it.
No, I'm not-
You're like a little
no,
ghost
no,
guy.
no. Let me be honest with you.
No,
A-
no, no,
A
no.
spectator with new players is terrifying because it has 4 beams right off the bat
Yeah.
and can do a bunch of other fun
That's
stuff.
probably why the team got wiped.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
weren't ready for
It
the
wasn't
whole
even like
party
holding
and everything
the
changed.
monks. It also depends what level they were.
True.
Honestly, if they were like running a level 5 adventure, yeah, it could get a little bloody.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, ready for this next one?
Yeah.
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 This is by user Evil Tiny Wolf. Banger names today.
Oh yeah.
A former friend, Jim, has been trying to reconnect recently. I moved away after high school, and now that we're older, he's worried about maintaining his long-distance friendships. I understood the logic, so I was open to talking online, even though it's been basically a decade since we've seen each other. After learning I had gotten into D&D, Jim got very excited. He's writing a project that he hopes to get published, and wanted to know about the characters I played, so he could have an authentic female perspective on the hobby. I had no idea what he meant by that, but he clarified he wanted me to tell him about my characters in as much detail as I wanted to share. I opted to start with my favorite character. I had a human Way of the Open Hand monk that I played in a game that lasted 3.5 years. It took a single level dip into cleric for story reasons rather than optimization, but I have a ton of fond memories of the character and the people I played with for that campaign. I have commissioned a ton of art for this character over the years and started the description by explaining that she was my favorite character, but he cut me off and said she wasn't realistic to the type of character a woman would play, in spite of the fact that I am a woman and did play this character. So I bit my tongue and told him about my life domain cleric that I played in my most recent campaign. Nope. Jim said the cleric was a harmful stereotype. Why? Because women being the healer is too tropey. He didn't want to hear about my bard at all because I picked the wrong subclass for it. My warlock was apparently too complicated. I was getting frustrated and asking Jim if he wanted to talk about something else, but he insisted that he really wanted to know what my D&D characters were like. Needed a woman's input for this project of his that he was working on. You got a woman's input, you just ignored all of it. Maybe you could tell me more about the project, or you could tell me about some female characters you already have and I'd give feedback on them. Jim then switched topics and told me about his Christmas instead. Talking to Jim about our shared hobby was a nightmare. He didn't want to let me change the subject, but also ignored or dismissed everything I said. I still don't know what this project of his is, but after getting talked over so much, I also don't want to read it if it ever does get published. Again, by user Evil Tiny Wolf.
Don't be a dick.
Jim, I know of a
Misogynist,
good
boo.
parking lot.
I don't understand what the fuck he wants.
Misogynist, boo.
He's looking for a specific niche within the field for female players.
Yeah,
female
but, like, what
players,
is it?
That's the thing.
buddies.
So female players, number wise, there is a lot less female players than male players in D&D.
Yeah.
Now that number is changing as D&D grows
Thank
and
God.
expands.
Yeah.
And it is okay for a man to play a woman and a woman to play a man. It is also okay for a woman to play a complete, out-of-the-box, non-stereotypical character. It does not matter. You can go for it.
Go for it, queen.
Yeah, go for it. It doesn't matter. Now your friend needs to understand that.
Yeah, as a female player, more than one occasion, I've been told by men that a woman's place isn't at the table; it's serving the table, and it's disgusting. And yeah, men are just gross when it comes to D&D.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm gonna say it. The Dices and Mimic podcast is not a safe place for misogynists. I said it.
It's
This is
not.
not your
Surprise,
safe
surprise.
place.
If you think that you are safe here being misogynistic, try elsewhere.
If you think you are safe here, period, you're not, period.
Yes, that's it.
I think Jim was his name. Is
Yes,
his name
Jim.
that we're given.
Jimothy?
Jimothy.
Jimbo. What I find so weird about this is you asked for the characters, and upon given 4 different characters, said not all of them.
All of them are.
They're not
rules law.
feminine enough.
The ones that break the conventions, not good enough. The one that stays in the trope, not good enough. The one that's too complicated, not good enough. Like, what the
I
fuck do you
think
want?
what he's hoping to hear is that her characters aren't worth his time because they're just he's a man.
Maybe it's an ego boost thing.
It's an ego boost for her to be like her characters were too good. They were too good for him. In general.
You don't deserve these characters, honey.
And
Like,
and he
come on.
was like, God, she's playing better she's better at writing stories than me. Her characters are better than mine. They're all terrible. The project he was working on was probably hentai.
Also,
Ew.
if you're working on a project and you want someone's input,
Probably
tell them what the project
Yeah, you
is.
should probably tell
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yeah, the fact
That's
that
why I'm saying that is probably not
Yeah,
a
the fact that
A
he
nice
didn't
project.
bring it up once. Like, he said, I'm working on a project. Tell me about your characters. Like, okay, what project are you working on? Tell me about your
Anyways.
characters.
Tell me
But
about
don't
your
tell me.
characters.
But don't
What's-
tell me.
Tell me about your characters, but don't tell me that about your characters. What's your character's bra size actually?
Oh,
Like that feels like a gym
Like-
comment.
oh my goodness. And the fact that they have, like, art commissioned. Like, yeah, these are the, like, really cool character designs that I've had,
Here's some of my
had
art
done.
again. What would you say that bra size is?
I
Jim,
can't tell
fuck
from
off.
this art.
Sorry that your friend is odd.
Throw him in the trash.
Not even a friend.
Not
Yeah,
even-
not even a friend, just a guy.
Long distance person?
That you sometimes maybe know.
Sometimes. Only wants to know when it's a good thing to know that.
All right, are we ready for the last and final one?
Yeah.
By user RedHotOwl.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay, before I start, I just want to preface that if you use or support AI art generation, I don't care. You do you. I'm not here to give you a lecture about the ethics of it or anything like that. We, as in myself and my friend who is the DM of this campaign are running, personally don't. Right, so for the past month or so, we've been running a Witcher-themed campaign. It's been a pretty fun time. The races that are already part of the setting fit surprisingly well with the standard D&D rules. The whole idea is sort of a low-stakes side plot that is happening parallel to the events of The Witcher 3, although featuring more mundane characters. To give you an idea, we've got an alcoholic dwarf farmer who fights alongside his pet goat. Anyway, one player, who I guess I'll call AI Bro, has been with us for a while. Until recently, he seemed pretty laid back and just overall an average dude. Our time zones rarely matched up, so he mostly only hopped on for the game itself and was usually the first to log off, which meant we didn't really get to know him that well at all. No big deal, of course, everyone's got their own lives, and we're all adults. But that did mean that when what happened, it completely caught us off guard. When it comes to the visuals, like locations, creature references, and so on, my friend, the DM, usually uses screenshots from the game itself that he takes and edits together. AI Bro didn't seem to have a problem with this, but during yesterday's session, he suggested that it would be cooler if we just use AI art that he can make for us. My friend said that there was no need, but the gesture was appreciated. Then AI Bro asked why, and my friend explained that he wasn't really into the whole AI-generated stuff. When I say AI Bro completely lost it over that, I mean it. Dude went off on the most random, insecure rant you've ever heard, talking over everyone who, like us, just wanted to get back to playing the game that was going fine until then. He was saying things like his art is just as valid, and that it's time that people start acknowledging that, or whatever. even though no one was saying otherwise. I could almost see him frothing at the mouth as he went on and on, pretty much arguing with himself for a solid 20 minutes. He probably would have kept going if the DM hadn't kicked him off the call. We let AI Bro join back a few minutes later after he had supposedly calmed down. But even though he was less mad, he still kept bitching and throwing in snide comments. Another player, who was an actual physical artist, foolishly tried to explain why some people have issues with AI art. This kicked off another rant from AI Bro about how being an artist isn't a real job anyway, and that she shouldn't be mad at tech since it was doing what she can do, but better. Which, I mean, okay. Again, we were all cool with agreeing to disagree, but at the end of the day, it's our game, and we decide what goes on in it. Eventually, the DM did end up booting him, due to him refusing to drop it. Yeah, I don't know. Probably one of the most random blowouts over nothing I've ever witnessed. Again by user RedHotOwl.
Hot take. Hot take.
Here we go.
Hot take.
Let's hear it.
If you think AI is art, if you call yourself an AI artist, just know that I actively want to hit you with a car.
Yeah.
Hot take over.
I follow a lot of artists.
Same.
I know artists. I have friends.
We use at least 2 consistently for this podcast.
Yes.
Our
And we-
artist for this specific segment is the greatest person ever.
They're so nice.
Yeah.
I cannot stand AI art.
AI art is gross. It looks gross. It looks uncanny. It can't capture things the way humans can. And if you are a die-hard AI fan, try the first part, maybe. Die, possibly.
Damn.
Wow.
Anyways.
AI, I don't know if I can even really call it a skill. There needs to be some sort of understanding how an AI works.
Yeah, there's still-
when you're giving it information.
There's still effort put
So-
into that, but
correct.
it's not the same as
If
the
you
Correct.
can type
So you're-
words, you can get some AI art.
But
Yes.
it's how you type them and how
Yeah.
you phrase it. You have to be good at wordsmithing. So
Oh, no.
here's the thing, though. Wordsmithing is not art.
No.
It is it's just a skill that you can learn.
It's being descriptive.
It's being descriptive. If you're good at describing things, tell stories.
It's similar to
play
learning, I
D&D.
would say it's similar to learning programming where you're learning how to talk to a computer to tell the computer what to do.
Correct.
You aren't making the art, you're telling a computer what to do.
Correct.
I would argue that it's a lot easier than programming in any way.
Absolutely.
Because you
Absolutely.
could just
learn words.
just plug in prompts until you get exactly what you're looking for. You don't
Absolutely.
even
Yeah,
have
so-
to be great at it.
No.
So you found a skill in wordsmithing is the best way to put it.
Barely.
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 I wouldn't say full wordsmithing, but that's the title I would give you. AI art is basically taking information from the outside world of art that already exists, or even other AI art, which is crazy to me, and slams it together based off of what you say. And you can hit enter on that same button multiple times and get a completely different generated art piece.
I fully believe that the only acceptable use of AI art is if an artist, like an actual artist that spends time like actually like drawing and like tracing or like whatever an artist. I don't know what an artist is. I'm not an artist. I believe the only purpose of AI art is for artists, like actual artists, to use to kind of make up for some of the things that they can't quite get right. Small touch-ups, maybe backgrounds, at most.
And even then, most artists probably don't use that.
Yeah, most artists don't. And I honestly don't blame them. Because fuck AI art.
Out here at the Dice to Mimic, we support artists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not con artists.
I will say I do think that there's a lot of overreaction when it comes to AI. I think that's something I foresaw personally when everyone was like going on witch hunting as each other, like, you used AI. I can tell because, and then you circle something that someone just drew wrong. And it's like, this is a flaw. It's like, thanks for pointing out my flaw, asshole. It wasn't. I drew that.
Yeah.
I just drew it wrong, motherfucker.
You don't need to witch hunt
But
about
yeah.
AI.
But
No.
like, stuff like that where I'm like, I can see the issue is that we'll go even further back. NFTs, right? When NFTs first came onto the scene, it was the idea that digital art itself could be worth the same as physical art. However, tech bros like this AI bro saw the tech in it and focused solely on the tech part of it, not the art part of it. They saw that something sold for a crazy price, and they go, oh, I can do that too, because it's tech, not art. And it seems that people are really relying on the tech part and not the art part, which that's not how that works, because art is a human-made thing with human emotions. It requires a human to make it. So it's like one of those things where like I don't think AI itself is inherently a bad thing or a unuseful tool. It's just that the people that use it suck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. AI can be a good, useful tool.
Yes.
I'm not saying that AI is bad or AI is the worst thing ever.
No.
I'm saying that if you actively attack artists because you think that AI art is better, or you think that their
Yeah,
art...
absolutely not. No.
That, then you should
Open your eyes and look at art. I don't know.
go to a local museum and try that, maybe.
Go to Philly and look at some art. Actually, don't go to Philly. Well, unless you support AI art, in which case, definitely go to Philly. Go to Philly.
I think at the end of the day it's not necessarily whether the art is good or bad, because at the end of the day, you could have potentially really good
Air quotes.
Sure, it is subjective to people.
of art from an AI, or you have really good from some.
I've seen some ones that are like, damn, I didn't realize that was AI.
Right.
I'll be
So,
honest. I've
so
seen
there
some
is
really
some out
convincing
there,
ones.
but I think at the end of the day, it's not whether it's an AI generating it. It's more of a moral compass thing
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Who the person making it is and why they're making it.
Morally, someone is making it because they have the skills to draw, they have the skills to paint, they have the skills to color, whatever.
Sculpt, whatever.
Yeah,
it
whatever.
is.
And they have taken the time out of their life to do so. And then you hop on an AI, it takes you 2 weeks to learn how to tell it what to do, and now you want to have value out of it because you spent
The
2
same
weeks.
value.
Yeah,
Same.
but you
And
spent
sometimes even more.
yeah, you spent 2 weeks while someone spent 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
So there's it's a moral compass thing at the end of the day that I think really drives the whole, is AI bad or good?
Yeah.
Your intentions are everything, just like with most
It's
things.
just tech bros. Bottom line, tech bros suck.
I
Right?
hate
Yeah.
tech bros.
NFTs were fine until you fucking ruined them. AI was fine until you fucking ruined it.
And to bring it back to like the whole D&D group, like it sounds like this DM already went kind of like above and beyond, because
Yeah.
not everyone uses art
I did
for their
that
campaigns.
for my Bloodborne campaign that I ran with friends. My first ever campaign that I ran as a DM was a Bloodborne campaign, so I took
Good on
screenshots
you.
from the game. Like, this is what the creature looks like. Or here's the guy you're talking to.
Yeah,
So, like, yeah, hell yeah.
yeah.
That's a really good way of doing it.
But I don't know. Fuck the AI guy.
Yeah.
Like he was taking it way too far.
Even though, like, assuming that they're actually describing it correctly, everyone was also, like, super nice and, like, agree to disagree, but he just was not having it, which is kind of the issue with all these AI guys.
And if
is
you
they're
turn
not
around
having
and
it.
attack the artist, if I ever see someone attacking an artist because they think AI is better, it's on site. It's hands.
All
go to
right.
Philly.
Well, there's 3 stories. First one by TheGadgetFox. Second one by Evil Tiny Wolf. The third one by RedHotOwl.
I think it is the first one, and
I
I'm
think
not
it's the first
going
one.
to
I think
elaborate.
it's the second one.
You always have to
yeah,
be different.
I have to
huh?
be different.
I feel like we have
Say
this
the first
argument
one.
every single time, but still,
think it's-
fuck you.
I think it's the second one because I don't really know. I
have a gut feeling
that's
about
really
That
bad
seems
to
like a
say.
very, like, I can see where you're coming from. That seems like a very, like, generic, this is my nightmare player, and it's a sexist douchebag.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it feels kind of like bare bones. This is the reality thing, versus a confession, which would take effort to produce.
I mean, this could just be...
This could. Are you
Devin's-
This
confessing?
could be my confession.
No.
Devin was a
no.
Or
problem.
maybe I'm the AI, bro.
No.
Oh god.
No,
Dear
I know.
God.
By the way, I know Devin hates the whole AI thing.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Because he works on our episodes, and I have talked to him about AI and how we can introduce it or
Yeah,
use
my answer
it.
was just no when you're like,
Yeah, the
have
answer
you
was
considered
no.
this? I was like, no.
No, of course, it wasn't me like, let's just use AI for everything. That wasn't what I was going
It was more so that art is expensive and I can only pay for so much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
So-
was like, what's our best workaround? Is AI an option? No.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
We've just decided that we're going to starve to death for art.
I just think that
Agreed.
I don't think it's the AI one, the last one, because Devin had so much input, which tells me
Yeah.
that it probably wasn't that one.
Unless he's just real heated about this one topic. He's like, absolutely
he experienced
So
it.
like
Locked
he's like,
in.
give me a reason
Yeah.
to talk about it. I'll make a reason.
We're locked in 2-1-1.
Yep.
All right, it was 1. And you were
yeah!
right. That was my own confessional. Slightly tweaked, obviously. but
No!
I was like, what if I talk about my first time playing D&D? It was a tiefling rogue who burned down the inn. I set myself on fire because I knew that goblins listened to whoever like the big bad was. So I was like, if I set myself on fire and run at them, I'm gonna be their god.
You know what? That's actually.
Okay.
I wouldn't even call that
Valid.
like hard metagaming. It's just like
It was
you.
definitely meta-ish, but yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh my god, that's
10
great,
out of
though.
10.
My
Great
whole
score.
thing was I would not say what my character's name was. I made up
Oh.
a name anytime anyone was referring to my character. I'm like, that's not my name. I would say, I'm not a rogue. Someone would talk to me like, yeah, my name's Bojangles. So turn around, my name's Jim.
Yeah.
Like I was just constantly changing. I didn't love the character, but it was my first time ever playing.
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you actually make?
Yeah, I
the
made
Dragonborn?
a blue Dragonborn monk who was struck by lightning, and she found the pain so fun and enjoyable.
Oh.
She sought out the pain again
Oh, okay.
through her own dragon bloodline,
Oh.
and would hit herself with lightning to punch people with lightning.
Oh no, fair enough. That seems legitimate.
Yeah. That seems like
That
something
seems
you would make.
extremely healthy.
Yeah. Tristan at 2, Bean at 2, Ivy at 3, Ivy in the lead.
Ivy in the lead.
Ivy in the lead.
Where I'm supposed to be. I even missed a session and I'm beating you two.
Damn.
True.
I like golf. I'm winning.
Sure,
You're
bud.
tied. If you're
I'm still winning in my head.
okay. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Deception Roll. Rate us 5 stars in the comments.
I will.
Bye-bye.